Hey, viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist, and welcome back to Syria Being Hunted, episode 718, with me and some dude who's joining me via Skype. I don't know who it is,
It's
possibly.
me,
Who could that
yes.
possibly be, ladies and
Who could it
gentlemen?
possibly? It's me. It's little old me.
Little old Phil, yes. He's little and he's old.
We're on the road to episode 800 now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are indeed.
I know it's already happening.
Oof,
We did
yes.
many episodes, the biggest amount. Um, so how's things going?
Things are going pretty, well, nicely actually here at the moment. It's been a relaxing day, just inside away from the weather and all that.
Yeah, the weather's been pretty appalling. We've had also awful wind as well. We had a
Yes.
horrible storm
Yeah,
Airwind
we
that
have.
came across and caused massive sort of structural damage to many things and things falling over as well.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, there's a device piece over here. I didn't even realise it was right there.
already getting a device piece.
I know.
Um,
How good am I?
amazing. That's how good you is.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Uh,
You do
so
flatter me, Phil.
I think it's time we did some. It's time for a question time.
Question
Do you remember
time?
our famous
Yeah.
where I find some interesting questions
Okay,
about
yeah.
ask and we both go over them. Yeah, we've done many of these in the past. We've done video game questions. We've done questions like what's your favorite thing, what's that, and everything, and we even did one with what's your least favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's
Indeed.
interesting. But yeah, got some interesting questions again that we can just go through.
One thing I will just say, because I mentioned in the last episode, which I recorded earlier today, that we were originally planning to have Connor for this one, but sadly he just can't be available.
Yeah.
So it's just Phil.
Yeah, he's doing. He's a bit busy today.
Indeed.
So I will just. So I've got a massive list actually of various different questions, and we can just look at a few like we have
Yeah.
done in the past. So I'm just gonna.
So you're just going to what there, Phil? Just cut out then for a moment.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I'm randomly scrolling. You tell me when to stop.
Okay, right. Try now. Stop.
Okay. Let's see what we have. Okay. Interesting one to start. What is the weirdest thing you have eaten?
Ooh, what is the
What's
weirdest thing I've ever eaten?
What is the weirdest thing?
Ooh,
Um, have you
okay.
tried something different or intriguing?
I'm trying to think.
Because
Yeah.
I know what I would say for
Okay.
me.
What would you say?
So I have actually tried pigeon,
Pigeon. Okay. Yeah.
which is an intriguing thing. It's probably the weirdest thing I've because it was a works Christmas do way back.
Yeah.
A good few years ago now. A good few years ago now.
Yeah.
And one of the things on the menu was pigeon, and I thought, ooh, that sounds a bit weird.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, let's give it a try. It was actually rather nice.
it good?
It's it does taste it does taste similar to chicken.
Yeah.
There are some similarities to chicken with it,
Okay.
but it's it's not really a fatty meat either, so that's good.
Yeah.
Not really too fatty. You don't get much of it because, well, pigeons are quite a small little bird.
Yes.
There wasn't much of it, but it was relatively tasty. We had
Okay.
it with like potatoes and vegetables and stuff. But yeah, I'd probably say for me that would be the weirdest thing I've tried is pigeon because
Okay.
I didn't know, and I always thought it was like for really posh people and really people who are really rich
Yes.
have pigeon. But
Yeah.
I've tried that as a weird thing.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I can think of a type of meat I have had before, which I don't know if I call it weird. Certainly, perhaps a bit more unconventional. I have technically tried shark before.
Have you? Oh,
Yeah.
that is intriguing. What's that like?
So, admittedly, this was quite a few years ago. It was I was just actually probably a kid at the time. It was very early family holiday in Greece. I think at the hotel one evening, they basically, you go up to like a buffet and they have lots of meats, and one of them was shark.
Wow.
I just remember it being very rubbery.
Rubbery.
Yeah, so I don't remember it too well, but that is just the one thing that I do recall.
I wonder if it tastes quite fishy.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
will do.
It probably will do. Yeah.
One thing I would like to try in the fish variety is swordfish.
Swordfish.
Yeah, that seems an intriguing one. I'd like to try swordfish.
I think my dad has tried swordfish before.
Oh, has he?
I think he said it was like very oily, from what
Very
I
oily,
remember.
right.
But then again, it has been a while, so
Yeah.
yeah, don't remember too well.
I have tried like various different, not the sort of shellfish you'd normally have. Like I've tried some lobster.
Yeah. Ah, lobster any good?
Fish. Have I tried crayfish?
I've never tried crayfish. No.
I think I have. Or if not the full variety, maybe some tails.
Okay.
Crayfish
Yeah.
tails. But it's one of the one, but lobster, yeah. But so you've had shark, and that would be interesting. I would like to try shark, but I've got pids. Yeah.
I mean, I know some people might sort of listen to that and think, is shark actually that sort of weird? But I mean, it's exotic, for a frigging Northern English person who most meats I eat tend to be things like pork and beef or
the normal varieties,
chicken or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal varieties.
Indeed. Yes.
Okay, that was an interesting little start.
It was indeed.
Okay.
Shift on to a different question then.
Yeah, I'm going to scroll again, so you tell me.
Yeah. God, my phone just dinged then. Stop now.
Right, stop now. Okay. Okay, all right, we'll think about this one. Do you believe in second chances?
Oh.
So I would assume something like in this scenario, I suppose one thing you can think of in this scenario is if someone has cheated on the significant other and they realise it's a mistake, they're extremely sorry, and they want to reconcile with their significant other, saying that there was made a mistake. Do you think that significant other who got cheated on should give them a second chance and say, or just be like, nah, you've screwed up with me, piss off?
I would say, if we're saying something like that, relationship cheating, I would say don't give a second chance, because that's such a serious thing to do to someone.
Also, it's really bad if it's done if you had a relationship for like ages. Imagine if you get cheated on if you've been in a relationship for 7-8 years or something.
Indeed, yeah.
That would be awful. Yeah. It's difficult, that one. It depends how. Because unfortunately that barrier of trust has been broken down.
Yeah.
So they could go, oh, I'm so sorry. Well, what's to say you're not going to do it again?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like the whole second chances thing. It really depends on the reason why you would want to give them a second chance in the first place. Like, what did they actually do? Was it something really out there, just plain old nasty, which therefore you wouldn't want to give a second chance, or is it something very minor that they did? Who knows? It
applies to other things, well, not just relationships, but like if you hurt someone,
Indeed.
physically hurt someone, and they apologise,
Indeed, yes.
Do you think they should get a second chance?
If the intention was to physically hurt, then that probably would lead me to say no, I won't give a second chance because I won't want anything else to do with you. If it was by accident, then maybe.
Accident. Yeah, you've got to give more thought to, really, haven't you?
If it's an accident, I'd decide that on a case-by-case basis, whether it's sort of worth giving a second chance.
I suppose the thing you could say here is it depends on the context, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does a lot. Yeah.
That's with regards to second chances. Like if you accidentally, slapped someone up and then said, sorry, that's
Oh, got out again there, Phil, just to try to say that again.
Oh, no, it's crashed. Yeah, it sometimes keeps crashing.
Is it just being its usual annoying self, old Skype?
I think it's just but yeah, it's just saying before I got rudely interrupted by the frozenness.
The frozen.
It's you got to think in what sort of context, like accidentally. That's easy. You could probably easily just give someone a second chance. Oh, I accidentally slapped you in the face. Yeah, if you're really sorry, then that's fine.
I'm sorry, I accidentally punched you.
Accidentally punched you. What about if it's a sibling or your family? Let's say your family do something like morally wrong.
Okay.
Like.
So I think you just froze up a little bit again there.
Yeah. Let's just say, okay, that you found out that your sister, Andrew, you found out that your sister has done some shoplifting. Okay. And it's not just a simple shoplifting like a chocolate bar or something like that. They've actually gone into like let's say a high-end fashion store and they've stolen a £1,000 dress.
I mean,
and gone and then they've been caught.
Mm-hmm. So would I?
What would you feel in that scenario?
I mean, I think irrespective of the value of what was stolen, because at the end of the day it's a crime and all that. you would probably have to say something and turn them in, even if it is a family member, because
Yeah.
if you know that they've committed a crime and you don't say something, then that's
You can be an accomplice.
Yeah, exactly.
Used as an accomplice. That's the other sort of dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's say you've got a job as a policeman and you see one of your family members commit a crime.
Well, you have
What
to
do you
something.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't give them favouritism because they're your family. You've got to uphold the law and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, there are sort of ethical justifications you can make for actually, turning them in and all that, because you could say that actually by turning them in, they might get the support that, that they need to actually reform them and put them back on the straight and narrow. So you could sort of justify it in that sense.
Give him a slap round the face and stop being such a kleptomaniac.
Yeah, just stop being a kleptomaniac, forehead.
Yeah, slap. Yeah, it's an interesting scenario because you could do your family in if you could do your family in for something like that. But,
Yes.
but it has to be done. The law is there for a reason.
Law's the law.
Law's the law.
Yes.
Interesting debate there, haven't we?
Indeed, yes, Phil.
Let's see what other questions we can find then
Okay.
now.
Start scrolling, boy.
Well, this one we're both going to answer really easily.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be really quick. If you could only drink coffee or tea for the rest of your life, which one would you choose?
Tea.
Coffee. There we go.
There we
Next
are.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coffee for me, tea for you. There we go. That was a
Easy.
really no, that was crazy easy.
Indeed it was.
Right. Let's have a look at another question. Okay. Have you ever experienced writing a journal?
Ooh. Right.
Ooh,
Let me think about this.
that could require some food for thought, doesn't it? I suppose. What kind?
Yeah. What kind of journal?
A journal where you write down your day's events?
Yeah.
Or just one where you're writing down your musings and your, what you're thinking about stuff?
Yeah.
Because if it's the day, I suppose the day's events will be quite interesting. So sometimes it's good to jot things down, today. Although it might be a bit boring today. I went to the shops,
Yeah.
or I
It would soon get
did this.
old
Just played
hat.
video games all day. Video games for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to talk about just daily musings, I went to the supermarket today and saw an interesting person who decided to do a little jig.
Do a little jig, little
Yeah.
Irish jig outside the supermarket.
It'd be intriguing, wouldn't it, to write things down like a
Yeah.
like a sort of like diary.
Yeah,
A
so if
journal.
you're talking about journal in terms of basically like that, like a diary of your life, no, I've never done that before. I've written more like professional journal stuff related to like work and teaching. So, for example, when I was at Lancaster and I did a professional development course, part of what they did there was keeping sort of like a portfolio journal of various stuff related to your development as a teacher. So I've done stuff like that related to my career, but I wouldn't say like a personal diary. And obviously what I've just said there is more of like a work portfolio than anything else.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I don't know, because if you want to, you would set some time aside to do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
That's the thing.
I know my mother actually does keep a occasional journal throughout the year. She doesn't like fill in an entry for every day, but if she has like days where something interesting happens, or maybe she like goes for a good walk somewhere, she might give an entry for that day. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so that's an interesting thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Indeed.
Okay.
Time to scroll through those questions, Phil.
I'm having a look. So yeah.
And I say stop.
Oh, I hadn't.
No.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't done the scroll, but
No.
yeah.
Never mind.
Tell me to stop again.
Okay, stop then.
Right. Which one do you prefer, summer or winter?
Okay. Yes, that's a good question. I think.
Once to each. Now, yeah.
I mean,
It's
God, that's hard to pick.
like summer. Yeah, I was just saying summer is it's nice when you have the warm weather.
Yeah.
So that's for starters, isn't it? Warm weather and nice. But sometimes, obviously, in the summer it can get ridiculously hot.
Yes.
And that can be all sticky and especially makes it difficult to sleep. But it's like really nice when it's warm and for me, I do prefer it's warm. But winter, There are moments where it's nice. Obviously, it's sometimes not nice where it's all snowy and icy and you're slipping everywhere.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I suppose when you're a kid, it's nice to build like snowmen and interact. Or when you've got a child, you can do nice things in the snow. But sometimes you get that nice crisp. I suppose in the winter, what is nice, when you go for a little bit of a nice walk in the cold air, it's crisp, and then maybe you come home and to a nice warm house. Put your warm socks on, get a brew going.
Oh yeah.
Things like that.
Pretty
Yeah.
good, isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say, like with summer, pretty much all of what you said, though it can be a bit annoying, obviously, when it gets hot weather. And, like in my job, for example, you don't have to like dress right up to the nines with shirt and tie and all that, but you are expected, obviously, to have like shirt, jacket, dressed fairly sort of smartly. And obviously, when you're dressed up like that in hot weather, it can be a bit ugh and all.
Looking professional, yeah, because
Yes.
you've got to make sure you
Look the
look
part.
professional. Like,
Yes, indeed. Winter is always good, except obviously when it just gets a bit cold. I do like winter obviously because when it gets to Christmas and all that, and I get to obviously come back up and visit friends and family and during the festive season. That's always nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I think on balance I probably tend a bit more towards summer, but winter is still pretty good.
yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. Okay, let me pick one now.
Phil's picking one for himself.
Okay, that's interesting. I say that about everyone, but they mostly all are. Would you move to another country for love?
Ooh.
So suppose if you developed a long distance relationship with someone from another country, and you really developed a good relationship, would you move over there to be with them?
Ooh, that is you see, that's one of those questions which you probably wouldn't really know the answer to unless it actually happened to you.
Yeah.
My current inclination is to say no, just because things if you're like moving abroad to another country, if it's just the thought of what if that didn't work out for you. Because you're basically in another
you're
country
sort of
away
stuck
from
there, aren't you?
Yeah, you're stuck there away from all your sort of personal support structures and whatever else have you, and like you'd have to probably then arrange for shipping all of your stuff back to your home country and sorting out accommodation, things like that. Probably have to rely on friends and family to help you out for a bit and just until you get settled in again.
Yeah, because if it all goes to pot, then you have to come back and get a house again. And
Yeah.
everything, because that's all things. You have to sell your house. You have to sell your car, unless you're going to drive to the country with your own car and then live with the person.
Yeah.
But it could easily break down. You just don't know. You might be vastly in love with one another, and you move over to that country and you spend a good 3-4 years, then all of a sudden it turns to shit.
Yes, I just think of like the future-proofing side of it and all the uncertainty around that. Yeah,
That's what you have to be prepared for, don't you?
You do.
That's why it's probably best sometimes to stick to someone in your own country.
Yeah, I mean, not to say you can't date people.
No, people have done it.
Yeah, people have done it. It's fine, Ultimately, at the end of the day, go with what makes you happy, ladies and gentlemen, and all that. Just, think about the potential issues and just plan for them in case they happen.
Yes, exactly. That's because it could be an issue, but some people have worked through it so well, and they've like lived with their significant other in the other country for many years, and they've not ever had. Obviously, with couples, you're always going to have spats and arguments and things like that, but it's how you get over them. And
Indeed.
I do think though that you need to have a sort of backup plan.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely.
Because if things do go bad, then you have to think, well, what's the next thing to do? What's the next stage?
Indeed.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's that one. Stop, Scarecrow.
No.
I'm not talking to you. This is an interesting one I found.
Yeah.
How did your parents meet?
Ooh. Okay, yeah, I do know the story of this.
Yeah.
How they met up together. So basically, my mother used to live in a very small village, not far from the town where I grew up. And during her sort of late teenage years, she had a part-time job in the local sort of pub restaurant. Basically, she was a waitress. And that's where she met my dad. He was a customer one day, and I guess they got talking and hit it off.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting that, because usually when you're like a waitress or something like that, you don't really
Yeah,
want to talk much to your
you
customers
don't.
or anything. But maybe they generated a rapport.
Yeah, it could just be that sort of one sort of exception to the rule. Because yeah, generally speaking, picking up serving staff and waiting on staff is very rare. That rarely happens because
Yeah,
most waiting staff, they're not there to date or find romance. They're just there to do a job. They're not
exactly.
interested.
That's the thing. So that
Yeah.
that is actually an intriguing story. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So I believe that's how they met. So
how
there you go.
my mum and dad actually met on a skiing holiday.
Oh, okay.
A skiing holiday in France. It was.
Yes.
Because they're both avid skiers, and I believe they were skiing, and I think they actually because this is how it goes. Was my mum was with some friends, and my dad was with his own friends, and they were in the when it got to about lunchtime, because when you go skiing, there are like restaurants on the top of the mountains,
Yeah.
and you go in there for some lunch, and they were in there. He was in there with lunch, and she was in there, and I think they found out obviously, you're English.
Yeah.
And they both just got chatting in
Indeed.
there, and they got talking, and then found they really liked each other.
Nice.
And started and then they thought, where do you live and everything, and they thought, when we get back to England, we'll meet up.
Yeah.
And so that they did.
Nice.
Which is intriguing, because my dad comes from the north of England and my mum's from the south.
Yeah.
So my dad was mostly was born around Leeds, and my
Okay.
mum was born around Cambridge. So they got together and everything, and and then they started. And thank God they did, because I wouldn't
Yes.
exist.
No, we wouldn't have the joys of Phil in these red videos.
Well, there wouldn't even be you
There wouldn't, actually.
if your dad didn't say hello to that waitress in there. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See, you wouldn't have even existed. So it's
I know.
funny to think that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just that chance encounter that gets your parents together.
To be honest, though, Phil, I would say this. If Phil, had never been born, there definitely would not be a General Red Strategist channel, even if I had been born, because technically you were the one who first sort of
Yeah, I
mooted
suppose
the
it's
idea
that.
to me of like doing
There may have been a
YouTube.
point maybe where you thought, maybe I
Maybe.
should see what it's like getting onto YouTube. Yeah.
Maybe, but I think, hard to say whether I would have done. Because the
Yeah.
thing is, I think you were very much the one that probably got me into like things like obviously Yogscast and stuff like that, and that really was my proper sort of gateway, I think, into the whole YouTube scene. So
It's an interesting thing, isn't it, to
Yeah.
think, what if, other
Indeed.
scenarios, a parallel universe maybe.
yes,
Um,
a parallel
a
universe.
parallel universe. Okay, we'll do two more questions, all
Okay,
right?
doke.
So I'll let you, I'll scroll, and then
Okay.
you say stop.
He's scrolling now.
I am.
Stop.
Okay. Um,
What's he looking at?
right. Okay, this is interesting. Who would you share the last slice of cake with if there was just one piece left at your birthday party?
Oh, okay.
It's interesting. Would you let someone else have it, or would you just have it for yourself?
Me. I'd let my best friend Phil have it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right, because if it was mine, I'd have it for myself.
Yeah.
Wow, how rude.
Yeah. I was going to say, on a more sort of serious note, it depends. If everyone's had a slice, then it may just like box it up in storage and someone else can have it later or something. But, if someone hasn't had a slice yet, then it's nice to make sure they
Yeah.
have the chance to have a slice if they
Oh,
want
everyone's
to.
got to have a slice at least. But
Yes.
let's say in this scenario, everyone has had a slice.
Okay.
But now there's this one left. Do you
One
want it
left.
for yourself? It's your birthday. Do you want it for yourself, or would you be willing to give it? So let's say someone came up and said, "Oh, is it possible I could have that piece?"
I probably would say, yeah, probably for myself first and foremost, because it is, it's your birthday cake and all that.
I'd pick it up and go, "Oh, you want it, dear?" And I'd lick it. Do you want it now?
Deary me, Phil's got the ideal solution,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
It's like those. Do you remember when you used to? Oh God, I remember when we were younger, kids' parties. You get the
Oh,
goodie bags. Oh my
yes.
God, you get like because they'd have usually at the little kids' parties that we when you're younger, you'd have like buffet. So
Yeah.
in these bags, you have like the little buffet foods. The little crisps and everything, and then
Yeah.
there'd always be a bit of cake, maybe a toy in there as well.
Aye.
but there'd always be a bit of that cake, and you'd love it. Oh, that was the best thing. I remember the goodie bags.
When you're 6 years old, it's the best thing ever.
It is, yeah.
Aye, yeah.
I tell you what, I would. What I might do is, if it was my birthday and I like the cake a lot, I might. And someone asked me, I might just like cut it in half and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, you can have that bit, and
Yeah.
I want my bit as well."
Just cut a tiny little fragment off it.
Yeah,
There
this
you
is your
go.
bit. This is your bit.
Yes.
Or just hope that the birthday cake you have is one that just before you get it, so go around to each of your friends. So just have a general chat about it. So what sort of cakes don't you really like? Oh, I'm really don't like fruit cake. Right, okay, let me just note that down. And then when you go and when your mum says, so Phil, what sort of cake do you want for your birthday? Fruit cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it comes saying, oh, and you get all your friends who don't like it. Yeah, oh, look, it's a lovely fruit cake. Do you want to? Oh, you don't want any? Oh, I didn't realise you didn't like that. Oh, no, that's all for me then, isn't it, really?
See, I don't think that would work with me because, I obviously don't like fruitcake myself, but, obviously all the cakes I like tend to be things like chocolate cakes, which everyone else likes,
Yeah,
usually.
you've got to have one. Maybe
Yeah.
you should take one for tea. Maybe get a cake that you don't like
Yeah.
and just be like, oh, yeah, I love this one. Yeah, really do like this one. You don't want any? No. Okay, I'll have it all. Shit, I'll have it all for myself.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Right.
Oh, is that
Final one then. I'm going to scroll this time and I'll say stop myself.
Okay.
And stop. Okay.
What's he got? What's he got, ladies and gentlemen?
Okay. What would you do if you knew you'd be good in a different profession?
Ooh, okay.
So let's say you're no longer. So you lose your ability to be good in the one. So you're teaching and everything. You no longer be a teacher. If you decided you were going to be good in a different profession, which would you like, or which would appeals? Well, I suppose you in the past you've said things like journalism, haven't you?
Possibly journalism, though. The problem is that, with journalism, usually you have to do a lot like freelance work first, and there's a lot of uncertainty. And it's good if you have, like prior experience of writing articles for like student publications or other stuff, just to show you can write, things like that. So that's a possibility. But having said that, the question specifies if you know you're good at something, which might sort of imply maybe you already have qualifications in a certain field or something like that. God, what would I go with? The thing is, technically, so I know you said can't do teaching, but obviously there's like different types of teaching, because obviously I'm sort of like university level teaching, which is a bit different to.
Yes, I
suppose
suppose
like
you could do maybe like
teaching.
college or but the thing is because you said you don't really teach politics in that you don't
Not
do
at high
anything
school.
in high
No.
school.
I probably
Maybe
have to do something like history or RE or something with my sort of skills, because that probably would be those would be the most sort
RE.
of- Well, RE.
You're not really religious.
Well, no, you don't need to be religious to teach RE, but because RE, like, if you look at a lot of syllabuses, curricula for RE in high schools, it's more just teaching, obviously, about like debates within religions, which also can be very political.
Oh, I suppose so.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do college as well, because I think
Yeah.
there are some college where there's a minor like politic thing related stuff.
Yeah, there are. The only problem with
history,
like teaching at A level is that a lot of I remember always because before I got my current job, there was a period where I was sort of looking at sort of lower level teaching as sort of like just a backup career plan in case academia didn't work out. And I remember going to a sort of like high school teachers conference, for sort of people who are interested in it in Blackpool at a hotel. And one of the things I remember, one of the delegates
Was that
there,
Blackpool is still as shit as it always is?
well, yeah, I learned that as well. But no, one of the things I remember them saying to me was, if you're interested in A-level teaching, that's fine, but it's actually better to, rather than getting a qualification specifically in A-level teaching, it's better to actually train just to be a high school teacher in general, because A, it gives you a wider range of skills, and B, if the problem with
sense.
being a solely A-level teacher is that it kind of limits you, whereas if you can be sort of A-level and lower throughout high school, it makes you a better candidate for employers.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so So
Indeed.
yeah, I suppose you could do that because it's still something you're good at, but it's sort of different sort of field, isn't it?
Yeah,
Maybe
indeed.
do a bit of history. Yeah, okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
What would I do? Because obviously I know that I'm good at technical related stuff. So if I
Yeah.
don't do now, it would go into a sort of profession that would be technical related. So
Yeah.
maybe something like working on web development,
Web
cyber
development.
security,
Yeah.
things like that. Maybe even looking at video game development,
Possibly. Yeah.
further programming, and things like that.
Indeed.
Those are always options that I would probably go to because that was always what I was interested. I've always been interested in technical related things all the time. I know that when I was younger, I did have dreams of being. I wanted to be. I don't know why, but I wanted to be a magician.
Really.
Yeah,
Ah, well.
that was when I was very young. But yeah, being a magician, that's that. Yeah, that's not really a one that would sustain you, to be honest.
No. Well, that's the thing. When you're a little kid, you have all sorts of funny ideas for what you do as a job, and then you look back on as an adult and you think, "There's no way in hell
I
I've
want
gone
to
in
be
there."
a fire truck.
You wanted to be a fire truck.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a very little kid, there was even a time when I wanted to be a farmer. I was like, I look back on that, I think, no. Why would you want to be a farmer? Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Oh God. Oh, it's very very difficult work
Yeah,
as
it
farming.
is.
They basically they don't get a break.
They don't.
They have to keep working. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
there's no like they don't really have a weekend. They've got
Yeah.
to carry on working all that. My granddad was a farmer. But he moved away he originally started doing livestock farm, but moved away to just arable farming,
Yeah.
which is a lot better.
Indeed.
Just dealing with crops.
Yeah. And there was the other time in my, very young childhood years where I wanted to be a pirate.
I want to be.
Not
Which
really,
one? The
of course.
Somalian one?
The Somali
One of
pirate.
the Somalian ones. Yeah.
Raiding
that's
container
Wait-
ships.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you did want to be a pirate, you'd be so disappointed because they wouldn't be, because obviously you've got the Golden Age of piracy type pirates.
Yes.
But yeah, you'd be so disappointed if you found out that it was just these people on like a speedboat that go around kidnapping everyone.
Yeah, indeed.
So that's not. But yeah, for me it would be something else in the sort of technical area
Yeah.
that I go for because I just love technical things. I'm a big technophile,
Yeah.
massive technophile. Anything, any sort of technology really, I really find interesting, and that's why I keep up with the job now that I do it. And I say because we're living in a technological age,
Yeah.
so
Indeed.
and that's why I'm always interested in trying to help elderly people who are not that good with technology because
Okay.
obviously they come from a period where
Yeah.
they don't know.
Phil wants to go and work in his local library with the Silver Surfers Club.
Oh God, not there. No. Sure. How do I turn this on? I'm not quite sure. You see that power button? What's a power button?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, something like
That
that.
usually is about the extent of it, those
Yeah.
those sort of groups.
I can't turn it on. Is it plugged in? What do you mean plugged in? Oh, God.
God. Unless you were my granddad on my mother's side of the family, who basically had the same computer for well over a decade at home, and let's just say when he died, and my parents and one of my uncles actually logged onto his computer to just check all his files and things like that. Basically, because it was such an old computer, it was like fucking steam powered. It was that slow, and yet somehow he'd been using it to do like premium bonds and like
Doing
stocks
that.
and all kinds
God,
of stuff.
wouldn't it be really awful if you turned it on and you found a load of pornography
Oh, God.
in like folders?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, I
God.
suppose,
Oh,
with
yeah.
dead relatives. You've always got to be braced for, if you're going through
What?
personal devices, for what may be on them that you had no idea about.
You see the latest Google searches. Oh, hot tits in action. Tits. Oh God.
Hot babes in my local area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you just see you go into his Windows directory where he has all his files and subfolders, and you just see one file that just says, "Please delete this in the event of my death." And you think, don't look, just delete.
Yeah.
uh,
Oh God.
No idea
You
what
never
it
know.
is.
But yeah, some intriguing little Quest drones there, aren't there?
Indeed there are.
This I think I've used this site before.
I think you have,
the
yeah.
one- yeah, and it had some really interesting ones last time.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was good, Phil. I always enjoy these kind of things.
I do. I think we've done it a fair few times now.
Yeah.
I think we've even done it with video game ones, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Tight questions. We even did a video game quiz at one point.
We did.
Yeah, so there we go.
Right. Well, thanks for joining us then, everybody, and hope you enjoyed that. And we'll wrap up here in the meantime. So, Facebook and links down below, along with the link to my propagandist channel for anyone interested. And if you enjoyed it, like as always, appreciate and all that jazz. Yeah, nice and fast. There you go, Phil. Say goodbye, Phil.
Say goodbye, Phil.
Okay, and say goodbye, Red. Goodbye, Red. Hey, goodbye, everybody. Jeez. God, you're as hostile as quite a lot of the other people, aren't you? Oh, hello. Underpass. This probably takes us back. Oh, shit. It's going to give me a sanity hit if I come closer. Yep. Yes. I guess, luckily I saw them just before it gave me the sanity hit, so then I knew what I was getting myself in for. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? This appears to be...
It's blocked. I can't go that way.
Ah! Dock Street, hello. This is where we are now. Going to the signs, yes. What about this door? I think this is the one we have to... Yes, this is definitely the one we have to go to.